Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your monthly reading for June 2025. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it, Virgo. By the way, if you're new to my channel, I'm going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your spread. And then I break it down week by week, okay? And then we pull my cards. And I'll go over some other aspects that are happening for you every week. And of course, a second spread, but Virgo, yeah, we're here. And I want you to get really excited. This is the absolutely bonkers luckiest month of 2025, and I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to show you what's going on this month, and you know what? You deserve it. You've had a year. Listen, everyone, this has been a year, and I think I told you this in your weekly forecast last week, right? Think about this year: January, February, March, April. You can even go back to December, November, right? We had back-to-back retrogrades. We had double retrogrades. We had eclipses. We had the changing of the nodes, the south node moving into your sign. Even Jupiter, the planet of luck and good fortune and blessings and abundance, was retrograde until February and didn't even leave shadow until May. So you see how everything's been like night and day. And I even said this in your 2025 forecast, but all that heaviness, all that, even some of those intense energies, that fog, it's gone. As of mid-May, it's gone. That was a ramp up to this month, okay? It is not only the luckiest month, it's an epic buckle up, pass the popcorn type of month, okay? June is going to be that launch pad to your new era. You also had Mars and Leo for several months. Okay, so here's the thing. Your life is changing. And like I said in your annual forecast, your Virgo 2025 annual forecast, I said, you are going to experience things right now that you never have in your lifetime, nor will you ever again. That's how big 2025 is, especially now. Why? Pluto, freshly new in Aquarius, first time in 250 years. The past few weeks, you saw what happened. Saturn and Neptune together in Aries, the first time in 320 years. And then you see Jupiter is changing signs this month, where this is what makes a difference, Virgo, just because I really need to let you know how your life is changing. Jupiter is moving into Cancer. So it's not just Jupiter moving into another sign. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Jupiter is in its exaltation, meaning Jupiter does its best in Cancer than any other sign, okay? For all signs. That's not it. That's not it. There's more. That's what I'm saying. So the sun is going to change signs, right? We're moving into Cancer season in June. Mercury, your ruling planet, will be changing signs twice, by the way. Venus is changing signs. This is all in June, by the way. Mars is changing signs. You know where it's going, too. It's moving into your sign. You throw in Jupiter, you throw in Saturn, Neptune, Pluto that I just talked about. That's every planet. The moon changes signs every planet in June. So that's that concentrated period of time that I told you that this is bonkers. And I told you that a lot of these planets, like Jupiter, leave parting gifts when they change signs, okay? And yeah, did you hear me say Uranus? No, I didn't include Uranus in that. But guess what Uranus is doing the first week of July? It's changing signs, moving into Gemini. So again, that's the fourth of the four outer planets. You throw in Jupiter, that's 5 of the 5 outer planets. So do you see how this is such a concentrated period of change in the best way possible? So 2025, a year nobody on earth has ever seen in June, is going to be gangbusters. You throw in the fact that we have 4 of the luckiest aspects, right? 4 among the luckiest aspects that happen once a year, all happening here in June. We have a Jupiter ruled full moon, one of the best of the year. And by now the new moon in Cancer, the new super moon, the last one of 2025, the one that's conjuncting Jupiter. When was the last time you saw that happen with a new moon? That's also happening in June. So please know that everything's about to change for you, because what's happening for you, it's bonkers. Your life is going to change in the biggest way that you had never thought could. Okay? And think about the last few weeks anyway. When you think about Jupiter, Jupiter's been sextiling Chiron. Jupiter's been with the nodes, right? Your destiny, your mission statement, just wait until August. Just wait until September. Things are good, like things are changing, okay? So everything that's been happening, especially starting, mid-May, right, has brought you to this moment. So I do want to remind you that life is a miracle, and you're going to see that ever so clearly this month, okay? Jupiter is going to be front and center. And of course, I will walk you through everything, okay? And yes, it is the luckiest month, but it doesn't mean that there aren't lucky months after. It's just, did you hear the list of things that I just said's happening in June? So this is up there. All right. And the other thing is, yes, it is the luckiest month. It doesn't mean there's not going to be challenging aspects. Okay. We'll walk through those too. I just want you to know June is your magic carpet ride. The universe is going to provide the magic. It always does. You got to bring your carpet. You got to make your carpet. You're Virgos. You're good at stitching things. You're going to be in the zone. Anyway. All right. So the other thing is, I'm just going to go over the highlights because there's almost 30 aspects, major aspects. June is bonkers. Okay, so I did a June astrology overview live stream. I'll leave it at the end of this video in the description box. I talk about, that's how big June is. I think that's like 2 hours long, but just check that out if you want to know more about what you can expect for June. And I gave you dates, all right? And a lot of things that I'm not going to talk about here, nor will I do it in your weekly forecast, okay? Those are just bigger. There's some big things there that by the time we get to them, they're going to pass. So one of the things, by the way, that I talk about in that live stream is that you see that Jupiter is moving into Cancer on June 9th. Well, what does that mean from June 1st to June 9th? It means Jupiter is going to be in Gemini at that 29-degree point. So there's your parting gift, okay? So that amplifies that sweetness here. You're going to feel that you're a mutable sign like Gemini. That's your 10th house of fame and career and honors and achievements. Anyway, let's get started. Listen, here's the thing. June 1st, not even on the whiteboard. Yeah, I talk about I think I mentioned this in your weekly forecast last week, but I do talk about it in the astrology overview. The rare triple conjunction with Venus, Chiron, and Eris. Okay, Eris, remember, Mars' sister. So that's happening June 1st. Again, look at the live stream. That's going to be really big for you. That's happening in Aries, right? That triple conjunction in Aries are perfecting on June 1st in your 8th house of death and rebirth, in your 8th house of transformation, regeneration. It's also, there's something here that's saying we got to look at some old wounds and we got to take care of it now. Okay. So especially with former partners, lovers, relationships, money, things like that. Okay. Anyway, also pay attention to the first part of this, because I think I told you last week, maybe not. I did say it in the live stream. I'm going to see my family. I'm excited. I'm about to see my family for a week. Okay. So I'm skipping the first week. But I'll resume when I get back. All right. So don't forget to read your rising and your moon. That's big. I mean, listen, you know that's big. All right. And if you got a Virgo moon, then you know that's big. With the south node of the moon, like in your sign, you've got big changes this year. So anyway, just again, another reminder that the first week here is loaded with Gemini energy. By the way, you got the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Sedna, Hygeia, so much happening in that Gemini area of your chart, which is your 10th house. Yeah. So don't forget that. Okay. So 10th house is very public facing. It's career. It's, for a lot of y'all, your purpose. For a lot of y'all, it's, achievements, it's accomplishments. So it doesn't even matter if you're here for career. It's just being recognized for what you're exerting your energy into that you want to be known for. All right. Like career title too. So career is a big thing, but everything else that I just mentioned, your reputation as well. Now, here's the thing. June 4th, you see that Venus will sextile Jupiter. Virgo, come on. This is one of the best days of the year of 2025. Mark this in your notebooks. You got the two benefic planets here at 29 degrees. That critical Anoretic degree that I've talked about this is that graduation. Here's your diploma. Here's your gift, right? Here's your point of change. Here's the 29 degrees is big. Okay. There's like a peak. There's a culmination. You got you got Venus, right? All about love and money and creativity and beauty in your 8th house, right? And luck and abundance and expansion and profit with Jupiter, right? Growth. What? In your 8th house? So the 8th house is partnerships, partnership building, money, shared resources, assets, inheritance, investments, bonuses, commissions, loans, things like that. You're already good. It's a sextile, right? There's a window of opportunity here for you. Now, why does that make this one of the best days? Is because not on the whiteboard. What else is happening? Mercury will sextile Mars. So that's insane. You got the 4 personal planets, the inner planets, right? You got Venus, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, all doing something really special for you now. This is them actually. This is that all those planets rolling out the red carpet for you. They're saying, welcome to June, Virgo. Welcome to June. Okay? Amazing. You're going to feel something this day. You're going to feel something. Okay? And I want you to move with it. This is just absolutely bonkers for you. I really love what's happening here. All right? So, and you're going to feel very like sharp. You know what I mean? Like you're going to open up like a chapter of Mensa. Like that's how, yeah. So anyway, just within a few hours, look at what's happening just a few hours after that. Remember, that's happening at 29 degrees. So Venus has now moved into Taurus. All right? It's left Aries. You're going to love this. Venus is going to be in Taurus. Venus rules Taurus. Okay? So Venus rules Taurus. Venus is at home in Taurus. Okay? Venus. This in Taurus is all about comfort, your physical world, material possessions, money, creativity, love, everything that I said earlier, self-worth, self-value as well, things that you value. Venus at home here in your BFF sign, fellow earth sign. I even noticing I wore earth colors for you, Virgo. Anyway, Taurus does rule your 9th house. And I'm going to tell you why that's a big deal moving forward when we get to that point. But this is a big deal. All right. I'll tell you now. It's 9th house is the house of God, right? It's Jupiter's home. That's how big this is. Now, why is that a bigger deal? Because you see Jupiter moving into Cancer, right? Where I said Jupiter's exalted and Venus is at home. So you got the 2 benefic planets from this point forward, right? All month. Venus at home. Jupiter not only at home, he's on his rooftop. He's sitting on his rooftop by his rooftop pool. He got a cool hat on, drinking a Fanta. That's just how it is. So Jupiter, again, the best of the best, king of the king of the gods. This is just bonkers. Okay, so you see the 2 benefic planets already just making things effortless. Like this is so nice. All right, now you see on June 8th, right? Mercury conjunct Jupiter. I can't. This we only get once a year. Okay. So this is big. Okay. It's bigger than any other like this when you get Mercury and Jupiter together. 2 things here. Mercury, your ruling planet, just like I said. What did I say? That with Mercury conjunct Jupiter once a year. Okay. It's with Jupiter growth, all still in Gemini, right? Still in Gemini at that 29 degree point in your 10th house. So a lot of y'all at this point, conjunctions are strong and powerful. You'll feel it days before, days after, up to a week after. This is strong. This brings good news. This is business deals. This is luck and good fortune and expansion, optimism with negotiating, with contracts, with everything that Mercury rules. Mercury's a ruler. You're obviously going to feel this. Remember, rules Gemini as well. So at that 29 degree point, there's definitely something shifting for you in a big way. And you're going to see it here. Okay? Remember, 10th house, very public facing, very career, you know what I mean? So there is this new cycle that's, but it's wonderful for you. And there is this element of learning. There's something you're learning here. Maybe you're learning. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're going to teach. Maybe you're going to take an online course. Maybe you're going to start a website. Remember all that mercurial energy I talked about last week? That's here. Okay. So The other thing is Mercury and Jupiter they're related. They got Mercury, so they both rule the mind, right? Mercury rules the physical mind, Jupiter the higher mind. So this is that point, right, in the movie or in the month where you have that moment of, oh yeah, I see the big picture. That's what this is, okay? That is all this Jupiter energy. Jupiter, sure, moving into Cancer, still natively rules Pisces and Sagittarius. We'll talk about that. You got so much luck coming, and so it's not even. Anyway, all right. So let's just keep going. Just know that you're about to have this big, even big epiphany approaching this full moon. All right. Now you see, even the day, just on that same day, right after that happens, Mercury then leaves, right? Well, that parting gift for you then moves into Cancer. And Mercury in Cancer, that's great. Mercury, the mind. Cancer is, the moon is the ruler for Cancer, right? So now you got Mercury, the mind. Cancer, heart, soul, subconscious. This is beautiful. Use it, okay? I talked about hemisync. Have that flow state here, okay? Heart and mind, all you got to think about for the next 2 weeks, all right? Especially, you're going to be very social. Cancer rules your 11th house of networking, of your network support system, allies, benefactors, friendships, your squad, communities. Oh, yeah. Social media, too. Yeah. This is going to be a great time for you, okay? Now, here's the thing. There is a thing. I told you there are going to be some challenging aspects. This same day, you got Mercury square Saturn, Neptune, yeah? And Venus square Pluto. So you got 3 squares this day too, all right? Don't let those squares, listen, those squares, it's a bit of a squeeze. It is your ruling planet. What does this mean? Don't overthink things. I know that's hard to say to a Virgo, but what did I just say about Mercury in Cancer? Yeah? So do that. Physical mind, higher mind. Yeah? That's your advice. That's just use that and you won't overthink, okay? The other thing is be mindful of how you communicate with others, okay? Especially regarding money, all right? And partners. And when I say partners, they can be business partners, it can be your soulmate, your love partner, it can be, any of that, okay? Wherever that energy is for you. Because Venus will square Pluto too. So this is a day where there is a little bit of, wanting too much power, too much control. Yeah? Elements of jealousy, possessiveness with Venus square Pluto. And for a lot of y'all, it can be like colleagues, yeah? Or employees of yours, things like that. So a lot of work stuff that may come up around this time. When I talk about jealousy and things like that, because you're already rising above, right? So just keep that in mind. So one of the reasons why I really have to just harp on this day is because the moon will be in Scorpio this day. On top of that, if you're a subscriber, you know I've talked about the moon in Scorpio. It has a little kick. It has a little intensity, but the moon will conjunct Juno. So this is a big day. Juno, as we know, Jupiter's wife. That's how big the planetoids, asteroids are, right? Some of these, okay, it's like Sedna, right? I promise you, I'm going to do that separate video on Sedna. I do it after my vacation with my family, but Sedna is a dwarf planet like Pluto. It's like some of these that were reduced to. Anyway, you're going to start seeing a lot more people incorporate these planetoids, asteroids in their, anyway, just know partnerships, relationships, legal matters, one-on-one connections. Again, for you, it can be a colleague, it can be a friend, whatever it is, there may be a little bit of a test here or a little bit of a squeeze here. All right. So just be mindful in the way that you're communicating. Okay. Vibrate at that high frequency. Everything's energy. The planets are energy. The aspects are energy, right? You want to vibrate at that higher expression. Now, especially because look at what's happening on Monday, June 9th. Look at the story of this month that's happening for you. This is amazing. Jupiter moves into Cancer the first time since 2013, 2014. So I want you to think about what happened in your life around that time, June to June, right? Because it's a 12-year cycle, okay? And remember, it's not just Jupiter moving into just another sign. It's Jupiter moving into its, throne, all right? Rooftop with a Diet Coke or whatever. So that's the thing. You can think about that time In terms of, again, Cancer rules your 11th house. So what did I just say about like network, your benefactors, allies, friendships, things like that, right? Expanding that, right? Your 11th house is your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, and dreams, and all of that. You have no idea how big this is for you. Out of all the signs, it's in your 11th house. You've got to. I'm like already wanting to give you a mic drop. This is Virgo. I'll just do it. Okay, so this is really, really big for you because sure, you can pick up the patterns of what happened 2013 to 2014. Oh, but this is different. Okay, so don't compare. Just pick up patterns. You didn't have Pluto in Aquarius that time. Yeah, that's in your sixth house. You natively rule the sixth house, which is all about service to others and work and your health and all of that, right? Everyday activities. Yeah. You didn't have Uranus and Gemini. You didn't have Saturn and Neptune and Aries. So it's a very, very, what you're about to experience is going to be very, very different for 2013, 2014. But just think about like the blessings that came around that time and the expansion of the people. Like you were just knowing people. And I think I've told you this before. I'll tell you now, okay? Why, when we talk about the 11th house, which is Aquarius ruled, right? That's Aquarius's domain. Yeah. So when we talk about the 11th house, a lot of people may question, why is it like friendships, your network, your community looped in with your future hopes, long-term goals, wishes, and dreams? Well, because remember, Aquarius, the traditional ruler, is Saturn. What's Saturn all about? Your long-term goals, your future goals. Remember the longevity of it all, right? Secondly, Aquarius is the, humanity, the, friendships, groups, community, okay? The masses. That's why. But when you think of ancient astrology, it's the people that you know that connect you to your future hopes and wishes and long-term goals. Okay? So you have to be open and leave your lines of communication open. I tell you all the time, you got doors open for you all the time. You got to walk up to that door. You got to keep your doors open. Do it this year. Virgo. Oh, I'm just saying that because I know I'm about to see my mom. And so she's a Virgo. Yeah, I think y'all know that. Anyway, y'all are going to be good because Jupiter's just going to bring blessings. And like, it's like, first of all, this month for you, you're going to be meeting a lot of new people. You're going to start seeing that, and it's going to be bonkers for you. All right, so that's already really special for you right off the bat. But then, secondly, you've got Jupiter, right, Jove, king of the gods, bringing luck, good fortune, wisdom, blessings, that promise of abundance in this area of your life for a whole year until June 2026. And Jupiter is optimism and growth and expansion through your life experiences to have appreciation and gratitude, all in the name of becoming wiser through your karmic journey. And Jupiter wants the best for you. You know that, all right? Now, here's the other thing. Jupiter and Cancer in general, and everybody, any sign, every sign feels this. Jupiter and Cancer just puts a really strong emphasis on home and family and real estate, parents, children, grandparents, grandchildren, things like that, right? Homeland, ancestry. Did I already say that? The foundations of your life, okay? But also, remember the moon is a ruler for Cancer. So also your intuition, your emotions, your role as a mother or your mother, right? Maternal figure, all of that. But the biggest thing here with Jupiter and Cancer for the next year is emotional growth and higher purpose for you, okay? Especially through home and family and the heart and the soul. And Cancer has that mama bear energy, that security, that nurturing. You're going to feel that. But in wherever you're applying that energy, okay? And again, the fact that, sure, Jupiter's exalted in Cancer, but Jupiter rules your 7th house and your 4th house. Like, what? That's insane. So where else will you find that luck throughout the year? Well, in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and legal matters and marriage for an entire year. Because remember, Jupiter does rule Pisces. And what is going on this year for you? You got your North Node in Pisces with Jupiter, okay? That's going to be insane. So keep an eye on that for the next especially over the summer, fall. All right, we'll talk about when we get to that point. And remember, Jupiter rules Sagittarius too. So that is your fourth house of home and family and everything that I just said. So you see how you, Virgo, have a big emphasis there, not only throughout the year, yeah, but especially with this full moon, with a Jupiter ruled full moon in Sagittarius. All right. Now, also, you can even think about, Virgo, I want you to think about 2024 to 2025 when Jupiter was in Gemini. Yeah. So remember, Gemini is more of the mind. Yeah. Cancer is the heart. So everything that you learned and started and launched or whatever you did, right, with that energy, you're applying it now. Okay. So you're bringing those lessons into this cycle. All right. Remember, you create your reality. Life is what you make it. That's why we say that. That's why I say you create your reality. Use this. This is going to transform your life, okay? Feel really good about this. Jupiter's a greater benefic. Think about that. Benefit, benefactor, beneficiary. Jupiter's all that goodness for you, okay? At the end of the day, Jupiter is faith, belief, optimism, and higher purpose. You're going to be going through. You're going to feel this, all right? And remember, Jupiter's aspecting other planets throughout the year all the time. So bringing blessings in all areas of your life throughout, you know what I mean? All right, now, anyway, so the big thing for you for this month, Virgo, on top of that, that's why I say it's a big month, Jupiter moving into Cancer. You got Saturn, Neptune, and Ceres. Yeah, remember Ceres, your planet, your planetoid, freshly new in Aries with Saturn and Neptune. So what does that mean? That's a lot of cardinal energy. This is leadership energy. It's stepping up energy. It's starting new things energy. You're going to feel this, okay? Because Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune, just those planets alone, at that 0 to 1 degree point of new beginnings, all of June. Yeah. So you listen again. When you have Saturn and Neptune in Aries in your 8th house of death and rebirth, you are going through some really big transformation. And I promise you, by the time of the full moon in Sagittarius, that is the main thing about that is that huge shift in perspective, life purpose, that's going to come up. You're going to have some big change. All right. So out with the old, in with the new. I've been saying that for months. Okay. Especially for you with Saturn and Neptune here in your 8th house. What did I say? Death and rebirth. You can't have that rebirth part. You got without that death part. There's something you got to, okay. A lot up here. You got to think about, okay. And you've been doing it with Mars and Leo for the past 2 months. Anyway, so here's the thing. You're going to see Jupiter working for you right away. All right. So that's what's going to be great. That's what's going to be great. Because what did I just say earlier think about like the first half of the year and maybe even go back to November? You go back to September when Mars was in Cancer. You remember that? When Mars had 0 energy, Mars couldn't do anything for you. When he's in his weakened state in Cancer, and you felt it, Virgo. I've seen your comments. Y'all felt it. Y'all felt it. On top of that, Mars went retrograde, where he was in quicksand. So he couldn't do nothing. He was in Cancer too. Cancer's the crab, the pinchers come out. There was a lot of emotional sensitivity. There was a lot of, you know what I mean? There was a lot of delays. A lot of Mars he's the action planet. He had no action in him, but he's out now. He's out of Cancer. Okay. Remember that was months ago, but what's happening now is Jupiter is entering that Cancer area of your chart. And so Jupiter's coming in and he's looking around. He's like, oh, Mars didn't do anything in your 11th house. Let me bring the blessings. Let me give you that growth and that expansion and all that luck. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. All in your 11th house. Your future hopes, long-term goals, wishes, dreams, all of that. I'm excited for y'all. June 10th, Mars will trine Chiron. I talk about this in the live stream overview. You better watch this. Chiron being in Aries in your 8th house, Mars being the ruling planet for Aries, Mars looking at Chiron, the wounded healer, saying, you're in my house. Okay, just know this is happening, okay? I'm not talking about this again, but it's because I talk about it in length in the overview. Wednesday, June 11th, this is big. Full moon in Sagittarius. You can't even... Okay, so This is all about self-belief, faith, wisdom, optimism, joy. This is one of the best full moons. I call it the full moon of epiphany. All right. You will see a big shift in perspective. That's just what happens with this type of full moon. Turning points, endings, full moons culminate. There's something coming to an end, right? But this is lighting up your life purpose, okay? That's what that Sagittarius energy is. It's higher mind. You already have Mercury in Cancer. Yeah. So, and it's a Jupiter ruled full moon. So, this is big picture energy. There's the big picture, something. It's like spotlights, all right, for you. Focus on your chi, your prana, all of that. Connect with the ether. Do some, breath work, chakras, all of that. You'll be fine. You're gonna feel this. Okay. Remember the big emphasis here. Sagittarius rules your fourth house. Something with home, family, real estate, all of that I mentioned earlier. What makes this bonkers is that Jupiter, remember, conjuncting Mercury. Mercury is sextiling Venus too. Like, you can't make this up. Remember, Venus is in your ninth house of the higher mind, spirituality, wisdom, inner wisdom, self-belief, all of that. Also, I told you this, ninth house is publishing. Y'all writing that book? Y'all are Virgos, okay? You better write that. You better be writing that book when you got Venus and Taurus all month, okay? In your ninth house. It's a big deal. Broadcasting too. Start a podcast. I mean, you're gonna feel moved, especially around this time. All right, so this feels really good. And again, remember what I've been saying for months: out with the old, in with the new. Let some things go that you need to let go. Emotions, feelings you're gonna see things change for you, but you got to be part of that change. Look at what's happening on the 15th. Okay, so this may be the most challenging day, the 15th of June. All right. That's Sunday. Happy Father's Day. This is going to be it's almost like your first real test from Saturn. Remember, Saturn's been making things really easy for you for the past month. He's been in the sidelines. He's like, oh, okay, I moved into a new sign, so I'm going to let you get acclimated, yeah, as you move into, Saturn and Aries and all that. And now he's like, okay, then let's see what you got. So, you see there's more than that. You see Mars square Uranus. Now, can we talk about this? Well, you see what's happening after too, by the way. So this is amazing. First of all, Mars square Uranus, right? Mars is still training Chiron. You got that. That's amazing, okay? There's something here that's overlapping that full moon. You've got it. There's things you're going to have to, right? So let's talk about this. When you got Mars in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus, this is very interesting for you, Virgo, all right? Extremely interesting because, first of all, that's two fixed signs, right? So there's a little bit of inflexibility here. Mars is like a laser, yeah? And then Uranus, the great awakener, is like a lightning bolt. So on this day, yeah, there's very likely gonna be surprising revelations, unexpected circumstances, things like that. That's what happens. It's Mars square Uranus, all right? We'll talk about more in your weekly forecast. You see that Jupiter will square Neptune and Saturn on this day too. So a lot of you are going to feel it days before, days after, week before, week after. It's how you handle the energy, right? Now, Mars square Uranus, it can be really exciting. It can be absolutely exhilarating if you use it. And I always tell you, use these aspects. How do you use this? Shake things up. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. With Uranus, first of all, remember Uranus trining your north node, right? Uranus with the Cazimis, the conjunctions. You've already experienced Uranus energy. You get it. You see how it's you that has to shake things up. All right? So just know Uranus is breakthroughs, yeah? Uranus is freedom. So break free from something that you got to break free from. Now, what did I say earlier? A lot of y'all, it's going to be about the mind. Well, Mars is in Leo in your 12th house, okay? That is the subconscious, all right? You got Uranus in your 9th house over here too. Remember, higher mind. And then you put those together. Those are the two. Both houses have an element of, they're the most spiritual houses in the zodiac wheel. So there's something here, again, where
It's you breaking free from something from the subconscious, something where you may be telling yourself all month, I'm not good enough for this, or nothing happens for me, or this is, like that low energy frequency. Here's her break free. Here's her get out of jail free card. So again, you can use this. This is a huge spiritual awakening for you, coming after that full moon, coming after everything that's happening with Jupiter moving to like everything that's happening here is amazing for you. So you can use this. All right, please use it. Because, at the end of the day, when I see what's happening for you here, there may be something, again, Uranus natively rules your sixth house, and that is your home. So sixth house is, there may be something here with health. There may be something here with colleagues, employees, or work as well. So again, you just have to work with this energy, because Mars square Uranus can be like the Tower card. Or if you use it, it can be the Star. Yeah, it can be the Star. Or the Fool, actually. The Fool is attributed to the planet Uranus. And therefore, it has a lot of Aquarius energy in it. So again, it's all up to you. Here's the thing. Mars square Uranus, that's a fleeting moment. That's nothing, right? Compared to Uranus trining Pluto all year. All right? You're going to feel that a lot more when Uranus moves into Gemini next month. But that's all year. That's in your 10th house. Like, I don't even know how to explain to you. Like, just we'll talk about in July, but you will be having these breakthroughs after breakthroughs after breakthroughs. Like, I can't even and that would be your 10th house and your 6th house activated, right? So what? That's really amazing. And that would be just work and career. A lot of big breakthroughs there. But again, if you're not here for that at all, your everyday activities, things that you're passionate about, things that you want to be recognized for. All right. So Mars and Uranus on this day, they're looking at you, Virgo, and they're saying, wakey, 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 wakey. Okay. We're at 29 degrees here, Virgo. We got your gift. You want it? You got to come get it. You got to come get it. You got to show us that you want it. So shake things up or adapt to the changes happening in your world. All right. Don't resist things, because Jupiter will square Saturn and Neptune. Now, Jupiter square Saturn, done. We've had this twice. This is it. The last one. This is over. All right. So, we had this in August. We had this in December, and it's part of a series. This is the last one. It's just Jupiter expands, Saturn restricts. How you going to work with that energy, Virgo? So that's your test that Saturn's giving you. And what have I been telling you with Saturn and Aries? Wax on, wax off. Okay. Practice patience. What does that mean? Something around this time is going to test your patience. All right. So can you come out on top? Yeah, of course. You got to work with it. You got to work with Saturn. Remember, he is karma. You pass his test, you get rewarded. Jupiter square Neptune, that's a different thing. And you went through that. We had that in 2019. I'll talk about more in the weekly forecast. That's just not getting caught up in those lower frequencies of Neptune, of illusion and delusion and escapism and self-sabotage. And there's definitely something that may test your belief system around this time, okay? Or vice versa. You're testing someone else's, right? So just keep that in mind. The other thing is, there is a bit of wishful thinking, next level, thinking you're getting something, but you didn't put in the work or the effort. That's Saturn, because Saturn is here too. That Saturn was asking of you. But I mean, you would know what it is, right? So it's just that frequency of Neptune. Do you want to vibrate at the high frequency of compassion and kindness and love and imagination and creativity, all of that, you're going to be fine. All right. Instinct. Jupiter's in Cancer. Remember, that's amplifying your intuition. You know what I mean? All right. So, and that's the other thing. If you are vibrating at a 10 with gratitude and love and compassion and joy anyway, being your authentic self, you're not even going to feel this. This is going to be like water off a duck's back. Now, do you got one of those birthday things where you blow it? It's like,
because I want you to blow one of these right now. On Tuesday, the 17th, Mars moving into your sign. You have waited. So you waited 2 years. You have not had Mars in your sign, Virgo, for 2 years. The planet of action and drive and passion, libido. When you got Venus and Taurus at the same time, oh yeah, you're gonna, if you're here for that, okay? Anyway, Mars and Virgo, such up. You have to be happy with Mars in your sign, okay? It's been 2 years, and you have it here for 2 months. You're going to feel driven. Use it. Use every inch of it, okay? Every drip of it. Now, it's a very different vibe from Mars and Leo. That was in your 12th house. There was a lot going on up here. But it was also really good. Mars and Leo was like amplifying that. Like you're looking, you should have been looking at things with like this spiritual lens, and you know, the 12th house is healing as well. There's a lot happening, but you're going to love Mars and Virgo because it is a different vibe. It's more your speed. Mars and Virgo, that's more practical. That's more grounded. A lot of energy being in your sign that has, obviously, it's your sign. It's like, what do you want? Put that energy. Mars is giving you so much energy. It's you. It's your role. It's you. So for the next 2 months, you got this. All right. And there will be emphasis on, yes, like everything that Virgo rules, which is your routines, your lifestyle, work, your duties, responsibilities when it comes to work, health matters, healthcare. You rule that 6th house area. All right. Remember, you're all about service to others, hospitality. But you got Jupiter and Cancer at the same time, right? So that higher purpose. This is going to be a gangbusters. Like what is happening? This is amazing, right? You're going to love this. All right. So anyway, you got here for 2 months, and I'll tell you one more thing. I'll tell you one thing that I did say in the live stream, because you know, Virgo, I love y'all. And you know, I'm team Virgo too. You know, I'm a Virgo moon. I'm a 28-degree Virgo moon. I know I saw some of y'all's comments. Some of y'all are too. Yeah. Oh yeah. When I talk about if you're a Virgo moon, the fact that you've got the south node of the moon in Virgo all year long, it's going to conjunct the moon once a month. Woo. Yeah. So anyway, June 18th, Virgo, because I love y'all. Yeah. So please mark this in your calendar. And I really do want to hear from you about this. Okay. When we get to this point, or just even some of y'all may know something's coming, right? June 18th, Mercury is going to be at 17 degrees in Cancer. Okay. Like morning, my time, Eastern Standard Time. Why is that a big deal? Mercury's a ruling planet. Okay. Now, something from February 24th is going to come up now, okay? So I want you to think about just what was going on around that time. Give it a few days before, give it a few days after, all right? It's going to be interesting. Maybe something with a friend or a community or group, or something about your long-term future hopes, wishes, and dreams. Something you couldn't get at that time. Remember what I talked about Mars? But February 24th is the day that Mars went direct at 17 degrees. So remember, with Mercury in Cancer at 17 degrees on June 18th, it's picking up a vibration from that time while you have Jupiter in Cancer too. So just mark there. And I want to know, okay? So again, something here, 11th house related, all right? Especially if you're Virgo rising, but all Virgos will definitely, there's going to be something. Now, Friday, June 20th, we move into Cancer season. There you go. Happy summer, Virgo. We're here, okay? Happy winter in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a solstice. We'll talk, it's big, all right? We'll talk about it in your weekly forecast a lot more, all right? You got Mercury, the Sun, Jupiter, all in Cancer. You got stellium in Cancer, all amplifying that 11th house energy of your chart. But also remember, it's all in the name of emotional growth, spiritual growth, your higher purpose, confidence, mindset, shifting, all of that. All right. Now, Sunday, June 22nd, Mars will sextile Jupiter. That's
Come on. You got Mars in your sign, sextiling Jupiter in Cancer, and your 11th house of your hopes and wishes and future long-term goals and dreams. Like, also your social network and your network and benefactors, allies. Like, this is a big deal. And Mars sextile Jupiter, when was the last time you heard me say that? Okay? It is really rare. Like, we don't even get it in 2026. You got to wait. Actually, the next time we have it is in your birthday season. All right? So that's September 2027. But it's a big charge up. We'll talk about it more in your weekly forecast, but look at what is charging up. Tuesday, June 24th. You have the Sun conjunct Jupiter. You have the luckiest aspect, okay? Luckiest day of the year of all of 2025. It's the Sun with Jupiter in a conjunction, the most powerful. So basically, there's a new cycle being set up here. Okay, you get this Jupiter Cazimi once a year. Now, something's developing for sure in a big way. This is in your 11th house of your future hopes, which is long-term goals and dreams. Your networks, like I said, you're going to be meeting new people coming into your life, even people that you know, connecting you with other people. There's a lot of big things happening at the end of this month for you, Virgo, in a really big, powerful, special way. All right? Because look at what's happening just the morning after. You've got the new moon in Cancer. We've talked about this, right? And we'll talk about more in your weekly forecast. That's Wednesday, June 25th. It's happening at 6:30 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. So it's basically happening at the same time of the Jupiter Cazimi. You've got the Sun and Jupiter conjuncting this new moon. All right, that's like. I think the last time we had a Jupiter conjuncted new moon, I have to double check, but I think it was 2022. I mean, it's been a while. And that was just even very different. So anyway, just remember, this is a cycle, 6-month cycle on top of a cycle that's happening for you, setting up this amazing, optimistic cycle. So you see how June is really special, okay? Really, really special, because not only is that happening, remember, Mars is sextile Jupiter. And then Mercury will sextile Uranus. So Mercury in your 11th house, sextiling Uranus. So there's some breakthrough here. It's Mercury, so there could be some more great news that comes out of nowhere, out of the blue. Remember, Uranus is all about surprises. You got the Sun sextile Mars at the same time too. I don't even make this up. Like, this is insane. All right. So, and also not even on the whiteboard, Mercury will move into Leo, and then and then Mercury will trine Saturn and trine Neptune as well. There's just so much happening. Let's get started, Virgo. Let's see what's going on for you for June 2025. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, here we go, Virgo. Okay, let me do. We really got to. Okay, Virgo, how are y'all doing? You look so good today. You look amazing. What are you wearing? I put on the good cologne for y'all. I really wanted to, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, Virgo. I'm here for you. I put on the good eye cream. I did all of that. You see, I just got out of the shower too. My hair's still wet. I'm so excited to do Virgo's forecast. I do traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview. Okay. If we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Virgo, I love y'all. Let's, okay. All right, this is going to be a month. All right, you got to get out of your head. And it's so funny. I say that, but it's so true, because Virgo's, again, I'm a Virgo moon. I get it. Like, the whole analytical part, over analyzing, overthinking. Let's not do that, okay? But look at everything else. Oh, my goodness. So even just that. Look at the blue skies. Look at the direction you're going. Look at the progression you're going. All right, so let's start. Hangman, perfect. I told you that's going to happen. It's going to happen. This is going to be the month where you're even moving into the month with this biggest shift in perspective. So, even for a lot of y'all, so dramatic. Everything in your world changing in such a big way. Even him, right? Hanging himself upside down. That's dramatic, right? To see the world in a different way. That's what he wants to do. That's why he did this. You see that he's got a smile on his face. He wanted this. Do you see the halo around his head? That's a lot of enlightenment. That's what can happen when you change your perspective, okay? Hangman comes before the death card. He's ready for this big transformation. You got Saturn, Neptune, and Ceres in your 8th house of death and rebirth and transformation. Hangman is attributed to Neptune. So again, you are going through some of the biggest changes that you ever have. You're going to see it play out, right? It's just getting started at that 0 to 1 degree point. So have that shift in perspective. In order to do that, what did I say? You got to unload a lot of things, okay? You have the south node in your sign. That's the past, right? So you're unloading things. You're leaving things in the past, right? It's those life lessons. Like, I learned this. I need to bring this in my next cycle. It's the same thing with the hangman. He's making sacrifices. He's surrendering a lot to move into this new cycle for this huge, amazing transformation. This new Virgo 2.0. All right. So have that. Now, very interesting. You have the 9 of Swords in the heart of your spread. So remember what I talked about. This is very higher mind. This is more physical mind. Okay. So there's a 9 of Swords. This is a Gemini card, by the way. So there can be something here. First of all, there's something here where it doesn't even feel bad for me. If you see what's going on with your entire spread, it's almost like there's something that you had to do and you're like, ugh, let it go. You had to. You had to. As long as you are being your authentic self, there's no need. Yeah? There's no need for that. Anything that you go through that makes you go through a process of seeing things in a new way and transforming your perspective, your life purpose, that's how deep this month is. Again, as long as you are being your authentic self, you know you're on the right path. Okay? So there is a sense of like someone, maybe it's making you feel that way. Is there someone making you? There's someone that's making you like overthink things, okay? Because you even see that 2 of Cups here in your challenge area. So bear that in mind. There may be something here where we've got to move forward. We got to move forward. We can't just sit in that bed and hold on to that energy. The whole point of the 9 of Swords is to, right? Pull the swords out. This is bringing all that upon yourself. Okay. But remember, you create your reality. So even if it's circumstantial where someone's making you feel that way, you can't let them take your power. Okay. Don't ever let anyone take your power. And you see that it may be a breakup. It may be and it may, happen to, it could be like, you're let go of your job or something like that. There's something here. Okay. Or something that you were trying to do with like a business partner, it falls through, whatever it is. But this is the 2 of Cups. So there's, that connection with another person. So there may be a squeeze. So for some of y'all, it may not be a full on, ending like, a relationship. Like, it could be just a little thing that you have to put some attention to because it's taking up way too much headspace. But once you let it go, look at what happens. Look at what happens. Like, that's all it is. That's all it is. All right. So a lot of this, again, it does feel more like it can be you, right? It can be you that ends something and you're like, that was, or someone to you. Okay. And that's when you're just like, but you got to see the universe has big plans for you. I told you about June, this really big cycle that's about to start for you. And you see it here. You got the Knight of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the Page of Wands. You're good to go. You're good to go. Okay? So, out with the old, in with the new. Knight of Wands in your crown, that's amazing. That's just like, whoosh. Knights are all on a mission. They all have a purpose. They all, they all serve the queen too. So listen, by the way, yeah. So here's the thing. You are definitely moving forward. Stay on that track, going after your ambitions, your passions, things that you are dreaming about, things that you do want for your future. Nothing's going to stop him. He's galloping along. This is all, by the way, these 2 court cards, the males in the courts in the wand suit, you see the Ouroboros, the salamander, all of that, everything that represents transformation. They're the most transformative. They want to transform their lives in the biggest way, and they will. So remember, Jupiter and Cancer, Jupiter alone, but Jupiter and Cancer, self-belief, optimism, faith, wisdom. You got to have that. When you have that, when you're being your authentic self and trust your intuition, you have no doubts. You know you did the right thing. Something happened to you, you know it was meant to happen. You're like, okay, that happened. I'm going to work with that energy, work with those emotions. I'm not going to get stuck there. I'm going to learn from it. That's what these karmic cycles are for. Wrong place. All right. Knight of Wands. So yeah, there's something. And if you see what's happening here, it's almost like you got the Knight of Wands in your crown. And then you got the Page of Wands, something new happening for you in your future. Yeah, it's almost like whatever you're manifesting, whatever, like if this is taking up all that headspace, you get a little bit of room up here to focus on what you want for your future, right? What you're going after. So again, just because you got the Eight of Wands. So things are going to move fast for you this month. Really big. Eight of Wands, a lot of movement, but everything, as you can see, will be aligning for you this month in a way that you just never thought could. In a really big way. If you're here for home, family related matters, well, there you go. Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. This card is attributed to Sagittarius as well. Okay. It's a first decan. So it's almost like there's something you see the wands completely aligning for you, by the way. So like when I say everything's aligning for you, when they're zipping through the air, you throw 8 sticks in the air. If you go like that, they're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, so this is meant for you. Okay. You're good. Wands are your passions, your ambitions, your a lot of creative energy. You'll literally write that book, okay? Start that podcast on hamburgers, whatever you want to do. But this is a lot of movement. Yeah, it's happening. You're gonna feel it. It's and wands, yeah, they're connected to profession, career, enterprise, all of that. That you got a lot of focus there too. You got something new coming through. In a big way. It's the page. Remember, there's fresh new energy this month. There's that pages are that fresh new energy. This is something new. This is like really, really. It's really special. You can see that he's in a desert landscape, right? So I say a lot. Y'all are y'all? Well, let me see. Third square. Oh yeah. A lot of y'all gonna be traveling this month. Oh yeah, big time. Okay. Yeah, that's that Venus and Taurus energy in your 9th house. Long distance travel, as well as, maybe even doing like a spiritual retreat, like a walkabout. Maybe, you got your 3rd house activated. So a lot of y'all may be going, to Sedona, whatever it is. Use it. Travel is a force of good. You're Virgos. You love that. Anyway, earthy places, right? There's a lot of y'all are traveling. But anyway, Page of Wands, yeah, what I was pointing out, the desert landscape here. So you see the leaves spreading from his wand. Look at he's holding it with 2 hands. He's so compelled by this wand. He's going to turn that desert landscape into this lush, verdant garden of his passions. There's something new that you're moving into that you really, really, really want, and you see movement in. Let's get to your stuff. Virgo, y'all are amazing. Oh my gosh. Y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is going on, Virgo. I'm so excited for you. I really am. Okay. I love y'all. All right. Let's see what's, yeah. Don't mess around with me. You gotta, I'll even, you get Ted Lasso. You're going to get his, I don't know, assistant. I don't know who that is. But anyway, you're good. I can't even. Don't. Just, come on. 3 of Wands. You're amazing. You're good. Yeah, you're ready. This is just saying you're ready. So go forth. Okay? Go forth. Go do that soul searching. Go discover new things. Go build the things that you want to go build. It's all sky here. We say the sky's the limit, right? It's a 3. It's a vibration of the Empress. This is all about your growth, advancement. This is maturation, development, but it all starts with something new. 1 + 2 = new reality, the birth of new things. Leave your little village, go explore, go expand your horizons. That's what Jupiter's doing, that growth and expansion. This is absolutely amazing. It's wands too. You're getting all these wands. You got the Emperor. There's someone open doors for you, someone powerful. There's someone that, remember, there's that networking. You're going to meet someone. Emperor is really, he's got like he's a father of tarot. So there's that parental energy that's really strong here too. It could be a dad, it could be a father figure, it could be a boss, authority, but someone with a lot of power, someone with a lot of wisdom. You got someone on your side. That's all. If someone who's got a lot of power. Okay. He's got the world in his hand. Anyway, this is also what I'm seeing is like it's almost like if there's anything here that's going to inspire you, it's this, I'm going to sit in my throne. Yeah. And that feeling is coming in really strong. Okay. But you got to believe it. So remember, it's all about the mindset. Look at that. Look at what's happening here. You know what's really funny? And I just feel like this card's going to pop up a lot for you in the next few months because this card is actually attributed to Mars in Virgo. So this is your card. And so it's really, really nice. It's the last second. So this is it. This is success, prosperity. This is you made it. You see the pentacles all rating in the form of the tree of life. That didn't happen in any other card. This is special. This is wealth. And wealth comes in many forms. If y'all aren't here for money at all, it's like, remember, pentacles are physical reality. But look at the 3 generations of family. Remember, I said you got a lot of home family stuff happening. Okay, look how big that castle is. That's home. But you see all that harvest. There's still abundance here. There's this, you come into that, it's like, it is just, there's a transcendent something here. You're transcending, okay? And you want to. That's the thing. That's the thing here, okay? You're good. Yeah, that Knight of Pentacles, another Virgo card. I can't even. Really nice. Really good. Knight of Pentacles is all about, look at this. This is the biggest field in tarot, by the way. And he's planted his seeds, yeah? And that's the thing. You can plant more than one seed, yeah? Especially this month when you got all that Jupiter energy. Anyway, with the luckiest. Anyway, all right. So planted his seeds and he is going to reap his rewards no matter how long it takes. So this is the night of like longevity. You can even see the oak tree in the back, right? But look at his helmet. Look at the horse's head too. You see the oak leaves. He's connected to his future. He's committed, devoted. He'll take all the time in the world. He's like, I'm setting myself for my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan, my 20-year plan. It all starts now. You're good. Well, however you want it, your 1-year plan, it doesn't matter. It's just, this is stability. This is, in it to win it energy. And it's your card. You're good. Let's break it down week by week. Oh my gosh, Virgo, you first week, yeah, you know that Venus is sextile Jupiter, right? With Mercury sextile Mars. Mercury moving into Cancer. Venus moving into Taurus. It's a lot. There's a lot happening. Let's see what's going on for you for the first week. Right off the bat. Can you believe that? Right off the bat. I told you, like as soon as you hit the month with that hangman and out with the judgment showing up in that first week, oh yeah, big shift, big spiritual awakening, big moment of clarity, big aha moment. You got an archangel here blowing the trumpet. You got like, oh, I know what I want. I know who I am. I know what is going to make my life, even more meaningful than it is. Like that's what that is. Okay. You can't even. That's amazing. Now, second week of June, full moon. Full moon it really is a big full moon. A lot happened around that full moon. Remember, Jupiter also moves into Cancer. That's a big thing too. Let's see what's going for you for the oh yeah, remember you got those squares too. Okay, so let's see what's going for you for the second week of June. You gotta trust me at this point. I told you that full moon is gonna be really big for you. You're good. You just got the Ace of Cups, which is the heart of tarot. It's the Holy Grail. Look how big that. So this isn't even like your cup half full. This is your cup literally overflowing. So there's something here. We call it tears of joy. This is something. Think about the last time something brought you so much joy and elation that was like rapturous and it just like a whole other level. that brought you to tears. Like maybe, when you got proposed to, maybe when you fell in love, met your soulmate, maybe when you got your dream job, maybe when you launched your business, maybe, you know what I mean? You're having another one of those. Okay. Amazing. And remember, Ace is new beginnings, new cycle, and there's cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles this month. Okay. Big. Now, the third week is when, that's when you got Mars moving into your sign and we move into Cancer season. That's a big one. All right. So let's see what's going on for you for the third week. Virgo. Look at you. Six of Cups. If you are a cross watcher, I love this. Six of Cups showed up in so many spreads, so many signs. Okay. I love this is harmonizing. Everything's harmonizing. Everything feels really good. This is where you coming after that Ace of Cups. I can let my hair down. I'm going to show you something here. This is the biggest house in tarot. Remember, you got so much energy with house, home, family, that domestic sector of your life. This is showing protection and security. Okay. Comfort. That's what Jupiter in Cancer is. Okay. You can let your hair down. You can look, I'm going to show you. You see that all the way in the back? Right here. You see that guard, that security guard? He's leaving. They don't need him. You can let your guard down. You're good. You're good. This is comfort. It's kindness. It's inner child. It's even you with being with your people. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. You got a lot of protection, security. You got a lot of that here. Last week is the so the what? The last week is luckiest, let's just call it the luckiest week of the month. It is the luckiest week of the month with the Jupiter Kazemi, with the new moon in Cancer. Let's see what's going on for you for the last week of June. You got the moon with the new moon. All right, so there you go. There's going to be something here again where just go within. That's all it is. Go within. Trust your intuition. The moon is saying, there may be something happened that last week, but look at what's happening here, right? There's a lot happening for you. And that's the one thing that, I try to explain in the June astrology overview. One of the reasons why it's so long is that there is so much happening in June. It can be overwhelming for, some signs in particular, but also just some people, right? There's this, you heard what I said, all the planets change. Like, it's just like, what is going on, right? So there can be, it's almost like new things happen and like, oh my goodness, I'm in this new part of my life. Everything's changed. By that last week, you may have a little bit of like, okay, just have a moment, trust your intuition, go deep. You're going to be fine. It is very likely there's something here with partnerships, relationships. Remember, you have the North Node in Pisces, and tarot, the moon is attributed to Pisces. So that's all it is, okay? Remember, the biggest thing for you, higher mind, you see a lot of that spiritual energy, that higher mind, right? And then right here, Nine of Swords in the heart of your spread, that physical mind, merge the two, but also all of it, mind, body, spirit, all of it, everything. That's going to make the difference for you, okay? So really go deep, have those moments, and don't be afraid to, up here, like out with the old. Even here, you can see, it is card 18. 1 + 8 = 9. The Hermit card. Whose face do you see in the moon? That's all it is. You're good. There may be something also that it almost like feels like, here's the thing. Don't have any doubts. That's a big energy that's coming through, because there may be some things that are happening for you that you're like, is this real? Like, and so as long as you're trusting yourself, your intuition, being your authentic self, you're going to be fine. Virgo, second spread. We're going to go deep. Oh my gosh. Okay, Virgo, we're going to go deep. We'll pull some cards. Career. We're going to look at career. We're going to look at love. We're going to look at, so tier 3 members, you know where to find the link for this. Anyone's welcome to join. And next week, you know what we're doing. And Virgo, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on, Virgo. I'm here for you. Y'all are amazing. Okay, so you're good. You're absolutely good. Big changes happening in your life. I will probably clarify that Nine of Swords in the second spread. Anyway, y'all, thanks so much. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.